on, y'all? It's your boy, Swole, TCG, and we're out here with that fire, that heat, that sauce, that new hoodie that I'm going to be wearing at my events, boys. Check it out. You got the YouTube, you got the Yu-Gi-Oh on the sleeves, you got the Swole TCG, and you already know, got that Naroi on the back, boys, because that's what I'm going to be doing. Normal summon Naroi all day, boys, all day. But I'm going to start with Case, all right, because Case is the GOAT. But anyways, y'all catch me at events, boys. I'll be wearing hoodies like this. I got 2 hoodies like this, so YCS Virginia, the regional in Greenville, South Carolina that I'm going to next weekend. If y'all are there, y'all see me, I'll be wearing this hoodie. Come say what's up, all right? But now, today, boys, I am bringing Thunder Dragon K9. I can't wait to get into this one with you guys. This one is, I put it in top 5 for K9 builds just because it's consistent, it's nasty, you have a walking droll, like, deck's insane. I've seen a lot of builds out there, especially, I think one that's been flying around a lot was GGYGO's build. I wasn't a fan of his build because it was very limited very limited Thunder Dragon, and I really wanted to make sure that I have access to Thunder Dragon going first. So you're gonna see that when we go through the build. I really like the consistency with it. I did a lot of test hands with this. This build is insane, guys. I cannot stress this enough. Like, Thunder Dragon K9 is really it. Like, if we ever get into a format that's really about adding cards, like, you know, like, Droll's okay right now, but like, I promise you, like, a Thunder Dragon build, like, and especially that you can dodge with the extra Thunder Dragons inside rotation, like, you're able to dodge those destruction cards. So like the Mitsurugi cards, so like, deck's really solid. Like, it's a really solid build. I'm almost tempted to bring it to this regional coming up, but I got to stay down for my pure K9 because, you know, I just saw Pac and Team Samurai and Nesh just dog pure K9 and put it in You Better Play Riftbound, bro. They put it in You Better Play Riftbound. Pure K9. The most disgusting K9 variant. The #1 K9 variant. I destroy VS K9 with pure K9. And he put all these other K9s up, man. And they were sleeping on all the K9s. He put all the K9s and look, you're gonna have I hope, boys, I'm not gonna, I ain't gonna talk too negatively on this channel. I never want to be negative, but I can't stand some of these YouTubers, man. First, they talk crap about my game, boys. They talk crap about my game all the time and say it's dying. It's never dying, first of all. They've been saying that since 2002, all right? Now, anyways, on top of that, they're dogging these decks. Yo, these guys are focused on like 3 decks on all times, guys. This is what I'm talking. This channel, yo, we're creative out here. We win events by being creative out here. All right, people don't think like us. They don't do it like us, boys. We are a creative channel out here, all right? So I can't wait. I really hope I play them at YCS Virginia. Or maybe I'll just slide past them and be at the top tables and they'll wash out, you know? So, hey, who knows? Who knows? You know, all I'm saying is I'm bringing the heat, boys. I'm making a statement. So YCS Virginia, I'm going ham. I'm going ham with pure K9, boys. I promise you that. And I got this regional too. So y'all are gonna get a little quick preview from this regional. So hopefully I do crazy. If you guys are going to Greenville, South Carolina regional, boys, make sure you say what's up. And then on top of that, boys, if you're playing pure K9, I'ma love it. I'ma love it. Because I'm going to show y'all what I do, all right? So play some pure K9 at that regional, man. Some K9 interaction is the best way to go, man. I love that stuff. But anyways, or play Draco Tail so I can get an easy win. Nah, I'm just playing, I'm playing. But anyways, before we get into this deck profile, boys, did you guys get your steps in? Guys, it is flu season. I got the flu. I was down bad, all right? But you know what? Since I'm constantly active, my immune system's on high. It kicks it right out of my system, guys. This is why it's so important to stay active, because when you better yourself physically, boys, your metabolism goes up. That it means your immune system goes up. They're all part of the endocrine system, guys, all right? What does that mean? All right, when one goes up, the other is going to come up naturally with it, all right? It's the same system. When one is enhancing, the other enhances. It's the same concept as hormones. When your testosterone goes up, so does the estrogen, all right? Now, guys, listen, that's why when you take testosterone, you got to take E blockers too, all right? That's literally science, all right? This is literal medical science right here, all right? So don't get it twisted. Now, I'm not a medical professional, all right? I am just saying within my reason. I got to say that because, you know, technically I'm not a medical professional, all right? But I've been doing this my whole life, boys, all right? I coach a million people. I've coached physicians. I've coached physicians' sons, all right? So people trust their sons with me when it comes to proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, to you name it, training, diet, nutrition. People come to me, all right? And I don't even have a piece of paper saying that I'm that guy, right? But I'm that guy, all right? But listen, Guys, I'm telling you, I'm speaking to you from the heart, guys. I need you guys to get active out there, all right? Take it serious, all right? Because the number one issue in America is cardiovascular health, guys. And even if you're not in America, cardiovascular health is still huge, all right? So, guys, make sure you're getting your steps in because we want to make sure you're building up that cardiovascular health, all right? We want to make sure you're improving your heart. You want to make sure you're getting that blood flow in. You got injuries, guys. That's no excuse, all right? I was injured for our longest time. You know, when I was in the Army, I got hurt, all right? A lot of issues, you know. I had so much to deal with, guys, but you know, getting active helps so much. Getting that blood flow and that circulation through your body is gonna help speed up your recovery, guys. It is so important to make sure that you guys are maintaining an active lifestyle. And all it takes, guys, take this video with you, 20, 30-minute video. You take that with you on a walk, guys. That's it, that's all it takes. You're done. Not only are you bettering yourself mentally because you're watching a how-to video where you're learning something new, but then you're also bettering yourself physically, guys. You're plussing nonstop. All you're doing is bettering yourself. In 20 to 30 minutes, you double benefited, guys. You can't make this up, guys. It's that easy, all right? Now, hold up. If you're my Swoey boys, once you hit that gym, once you crush that workout, back day, chest day, leg day, push, pull, legs, don't matter what it is, guys, make sure you hit the treadmill, hit the Stairmaster. If you already been doing the treadmill, hit the Stairmaster, all right? It doesn't matter what you guys are doing. It does not matter if you're trying to build endurance or you're trying to, you know, build strength, if you're trying to put on muscle, if you're bulking and putting on size, it does not matter. You should always be doing cardio. Always, because you don't want to gain any bad negative weight, all right? You want to make sure your metabolism is staying high and active. So all you're doing is putting on muscle, you're putting on good weight, all right? So guys, make sure you are doing your post-workout cardio. It does not matter what you are doing, all right? Whether you're cutting, bulking, does not matter, all right? The only thing that changes is the amount of cardio you do, but you're always going to be doing cardio, boys, all right? So make sure you guys get the job done. All right, now without further ado, Thunder Dragon K9, let's get it. All right, what's going on, y'all? We're gonna go ahead and jump on into, first we'll start off with the engine, we'll go non-engine, and then we'll go extra deck and then side. All right, so first engine we are gonna cover is going to be the Thunder Dragon portion of the deck. So we're on one copy of Gold Sark, one copy of Dragonhawk, 3 copies of Dragon Dark. That QCR looks phenomenal, boys. Looks phenomenal. And then 3 copies of Thunder Dragon. Boys, this is the max rarity version of Thunder Dragon. It's the CP2. All right, Champion Pack 2 is very hard to find. And near mint copies of this, very hard to find. Yo, listen, don't get it twisted, guys. All right. Common Thunder Dragon from Champion Pack, max rarity, hands down. But that's what we're rocking. People are probably wondering why. This is just for more consistency, guys. So we always see the Thunder Dragon package. We essentially have, I mean, you're essentially almost guaranteed to see Thunder Dragon package. And if you don't, it's fine because we're on K9, so we do K9 things anyways, right? So it's not too big of a deal, but Gold Sark is phenomenal. I mean, especially in this. And then it's also pretty crazy, especially if we're running the Di-Fi when we go first. Well, obviously we're going to run the Di-Fi when we go first, right? So, I mean, the synergy with all these cards is just so good. Like, it synergizes with the K9 engine so well. And then I'll get into the combo guide on how we make things happen with this. But overall, I mean, this is just so we see access to the other portion of our engine. Now for the K9, we are rocking out with 3 copy of Noroi, the best normal summon in the game. Next to Lacrima, I'll never sleep on my girl. Lacrima is also there. 3 copies of the GOAT Jokel. He makes all level 5 decks possible. He's the reason we can get so creative with K9, so shout out to the GOAT. If you don't have your alties, get your alties. Or win my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm giving away 3 alti Jokels for our first place winner on the 1,000 subscriber giveaway, boys. So make sure help me get to 1,000 subscriber, guys, and you could have a chance to win a play set of alti Jokels. Next up, 3 copies of Izuna, boys. Nothing. I mean, there's not much to say about these engines, guys. You know, you've been a member of this channel, you know how I feel about all these things, but probably one of the craziest interruptions in the game. and it's only crazy because of our 2 copies of the GOAT. Yep, in this version I am still running 2 copies of Lupus just because I wanted this to be a heavy canine engine with just the surprise and wow factor of the Thunder Dragon. So we're still running 2 copies of Lupus in this build. The more I've been playing 2 Lupus, the more I really like it, just because it's really good right now, only because of Draco Tail being so prominent in the meta. With these other new decks that are activating card effects in hands that people are just wanting to test out because they just came out. This card just is so good right now. So like, this package is really good into this format right now. If we ever get back into like a yummy format where, you know, we're not seeing like cards activated in hand that much, then it'll kind of fizzle a little bit. But right now, well, Mitsu, well, we got Draco Tail, especially Draco Tail and branded decks running top tables. Because after Burst, we're going to see a lot of branded variants. We see a lot of Majestus variants. Majestus is going to be out there. So Lupus is going to continue to gain value. Azuna is going to continue to gain value into Burst Protocol format. So I think 2 Lupus is very nice for this format and for Burst Protocol format. 2 copies of Lantern. I just want to make sure that we have a good grind game going into these matchups because the Thunder Dragon is great going first. It's good bait for going second, but overall we want to make sure that our main engine has enough kill power and enough force to push through boards. So having 2 Lantern is very good. And then obviously goes without saying, guys, and get ready for that rant because you know how I feel about this card, guys. This is probably one of the greatest searchers ever created. Literally probably one of the greatest searchers ever created. Honestly, guys, I can't think of a better searcher. Like, not only, there's no restrictions on this. Like, you're just searching a canine. Like, any canine. If any other canines come out in the future, like, this can search it as well. Because it just says, search a canine monster. Like, that's all it says. Search a canine monster, guys. And then on top of that, it's a Fire Formation Tinky on steroids because all your monsters are gaining 900 if the activated card effect in hand or grave, right? And then on top of that, if that wasn't enough, you can just pop your own card to set one of your greatest interruptions in the game, which is Force Release, a non-target destruction that ranks you up into your Werewolf, or coming soon, our very own custom Zeus. Like, I can't stress this enough, guys. Like, people are slowly starting to figure it out as you see builds. They're like, oh yeah, play this at 3. Guys, I can't, you heard it here first, boys. Play this card at 3. Don't listen to these Yugi tubers that randomly decided to pick up this deck for one tournament and did okay, and they played like one. All right, trust me on this, guys. You play this card at 3. This card is absolutely cracked. It doesn't, I put out a combo guide on why this is cracked, even if you get drolled under it. Like, it does not matter. This card is so flexible. It is so versatile. The fact that I can still play under droll because of this card, the fact that I can start this card, grab a Noroi, send this card to look at my opponent's hand, or I just keep it on the field, and if I know that I'm getting drolled, like, boom, you just pop this and you set your quick play. You don't need to search your deck for it. All right, so this card allows you to play under droll, but people are like, it loses droll. No, it doesn't, boys. I'm going to tell you this right now. No, it doesn't. I have been drolled probably more than anybody in their history because of all the rogue decks that I've played. From K9, Azamina, guys, I got drolled to infinity and beyond on that deck. To even pure K9, I've gotten drolled. Guys, I can't stress how much I got drolled. Case for K9 is still the best play, still my first card I ever start with. This card is in my hand, it's the first card to play. Hands down. Unless I know they got like a flame on board, then I'll bait it with like a chaotic element sometimes if I'm running chaotic elements. So sometimes I'll do that. But that's for the pure variants. But either way, like 9 times out of 10, I'm starting with Case for K9 as my first play. And that covers it for the engines. Now for the non-engine. Obviously, when we start off the decks, we got 3 copies of Fueldos. Pretty self-explanatory is Fueldos, guys. 2 copy of Perulia. We're going to be seeing these new decks coming out and the summon from hand quite a bit, especially Intercraft. And Intercraft is a bad matchup into K9 because it works really good against K9. It could force non-games. Incraft doesn't really have like a way to like destroy, but it'll stall for time and you could go into the double loss. But if you have a Perulia on them, guys, they're not going to want to do much because otherwise you're just going to draw like 5 cards and you'll definitely be able to push through their board. So Perulia is just absolutely phenomenal into those matchups. It's phenomenal into other K9 matchups. Other people are on K9. They're trying to use K9 to counteract the Draco Tail and the Branded that's going to be coming out, because moment Branded comes out in Burst Protocol, guys, people are going to try to counter the Branded, because there's going to be a crap ton of Branded Draco Tail players. crap ton of Magistus Draco Tail players, crap ton of Draco Tail players, crap ton of branded players, and then there's going to be the people like us that want to counter the meta, and we're going to be playing K9 because it is a great counter to Draco Tail, branded, and Magistus. So, but these cards are absolutely cracked. This is 20 times better to run than Droll right now in this format, only because you don't neg. You never neg. You're just digging for more. At worst case scenario against Draco Tail, this is an upstart goblin, except you're not giving your opponent 1,000 life points. So at a bare minimum, it's okay. And like 9 times out of 10, a Draco Tail player is not going to ask this. Like, they wouldn't ask it because it's just one draw, you know, and that's absolutely fine. It just allows you to dig a little bit deeper into your engine, so, or non-engine, whatever you need. So Parula is really phenomenal on this format right now. 3 copies of Ash, the best defensive card. If Konami hits this card, I'm probably going to be pretty upset because there's a lot of people hating on this card, but I don't think these should. The hit in the OCG, this card is very fair. I mean, it's a hard once per turn. It stops the Charmies. We have literally 9 Charmies in the format. We don't have to worry about Maxi, so it's a little less bad, but we do have 9 Charmies in the format, so having this to be able to stop Charmies is huge. This is the best defensive card right now, and it's also a very valuable disruption for our opponents. So hopefully this card doesn't get hit, but if it does, I don't understand. The only reason I could see them hitting is maybe just to shake up the meta, shake up builds, because, I mean, as you know, when you start a deck list, you're putting in 3 copies of Ash, right? You're putting 3 copies of Hualos, and you're putting in 3 copies of Ash. So maybe they want to do it to shake up the meta. I can see that, but do I think it needs to get hit? No. I think this card is very fair, but I do see how you could look at this and be like, oh yeah, you know, everybody's playing 3 Ash all the time, so let's try to force them to change their deck. So, but that's fine, because there's plenty of other hand traps I wanted to run. So I can always flex if need be, but this card is phenomenal. Played at 3, well, we got it. 2 copies of Nib. Everybody always says Nib isn't a Nib format until it's a Nib format, but it's always a Nib format, because when it's not a Nib format, people forget about Nib, and they play right into Nib. I've won so many games because somebody would just extra normal summon. Guys, I literally won a game at my case tournament because the dude literally summoned 4 times. He had lethal on board. I had Lupus in hand, but he could have still outed it. And he had lethal on board, but then decided to go for a C104 because he thought I had an Azuna in hand. And that put him on his 5th summon, then I Nibiru'd him for his life savings. So Nibiru always comes up. It could literally save your life. And I'll always play this card inside my deck list. Ratios just depends on the format. Right now I think 2 is fine. It's not that good into Draco Tail. I've probably, out of the thousands of matchups I've had of Draco Tail, I probably used Nibiru like 2 to 3 times against Draco Tail, and that was only in like crazy grind games when they're digging into like branded engine as well. So, but besides that, Nib doesn't come up in those matchups, but it does come up in almost every single other matchup. So always play Nib. Nib's favorite cousin, Imperm. If you have Nib Imperm, you're pretty much crushing any deck. That's pretty standard for anything. Nib Imperm destroys Yamimitsu. Nib Imperm destroys a lot of decks. So card's phenomenal. I definitely still play it. It's really great into Draco Tail. It's really great into K9 matchups as well, because you're not activating a card effect in hand. So really phenomenal card, but only 2 needed. Our little Apophis engine. So this is a 42 build. With the extra bodies we generate, and I also, in some combo lines, in order to get your Thunder Dragon into the grave, we need a link. So my favorite link option is obviously Rabbit, just because this is really good against Draco Tail. Setting a Serpent and having Rabbit on board, not only do you get to set your Omni Negate, but then on resolution you get a pop from your Rabbit, so which you could just pop the Rahu or the Ketu that they set, and then now you have an Omni Negate for the next thing that they do. So it's a very solid option. It works so well against my Draco Tail matchups, as long as he didn't have Fallen in the Virtuous. If he had Fallen in the Virtuous, it kind of got tanked on, but if you don't have it, which typically they don't, some people are actually cutting Fallen in the Virtuous from their Draco Tail builds right now, which makes these cards even better. So this is just a really phenomenal package. I really love the pop from the Rabbit. I really love having the Omni Negate as follow-up after a pop as well. So I really like these 2 cards. And then the K9 Trinity. This is the K9 Trinity, guys. Shifter, the guy that just says GG's the most X. Talent's the card that probably should have been banned because it's literally everything in one card, and then called by the ultimate stop in the game. I wish we had this set too. But even though OCG and Master Duel is coming down to 1 on this, I think Master Duel came down to 1, right? I don't know. I gotta look at Master Duel again. I'm pretty sure they did. But even OCG cut it down to 1. But hopefully one day, maybe one day, I don't know. Call buy's pretty crazy. But play these guys. Play them at 3. I mean, play all 3, sorry, not play them at 3. If you could play them at 3, we definitely play them at 3 though. But that is it for the main deck. That is a 42 build right there. It's very consistent at 42, especially with the addition of the other Thunder Dragons as well. So it really helps. Ratio-wise, it's very phenomenal. Now for the extra deck, this is going to bring a little bit of surprise to some people. So we are on the 1 Silo Hat Rabbit. This is our only link. Now, there is a link monster called Bajukin Ashikin or something. I murdered the name, guys. I don't know the exact name of it, but essentially it summons out 2 level 5s, right? So it'll bring out one of your guys, and then you got that, and then you could go into Rabbit immediately after that. So that is a card that I want to play. I actually ordered it, it didn't come in. I wanted to test it a little bit with that card, but I didn't have the opportunity yet. So that is something I would like to test out is with that, because there is combo lines that you can do with that, but you don't necessarily need that link monster to achieve your end goal, all right? But it would be nice to have that as well, so you have a flex spot if you do get interrupted in a weird way to where you need that card to be able to get into your Colossus. But just 1 Rabbit right now, and then 2 Colossus. Let's take it. This ulti is so sick, guys. This is a sick ulti. These guys look incredible. Look at these ultis. These guys look insane. Colossus is just a phenomenal card, especially this format. I think post burst, it's going to be even crazier. So I really do like this deck going into Burst Protocol. So if you guys are interested in playing this build, I would 100% run this build, card for card, at an event. If you guys want to take this build, I really do like this a lot, and I'm very tempted to run it myself, but like I said, I got to prove the pure K9 haters wrong. And then next up, obviously, we're playing K9, so we're on 2 copies of Ripper. Pretty self-explanatory. Ripper's Ripper, guys. You know, you play Ripper. You know, you got Ripper, you play Ripper. You play them at 2, always, every day. Card's insane. Card is literally free, it's cracked, it's ridiculous. Which brings us to our other K9 5, Jax. We're only playing 1 Jax just to make room inside the extra deck. 1 Princess. This is how we dig into our Thunder Dragon engine. If we don't see the right cards, and this is the easiest way to pull out a Thunder Dragon, go into Colossus. So Princess is phenomenal. This is essentially my flex spot for not having that link monster. But I would like to run that link monster as well, and I'll show you what card you could cut. You could technically cut 1 Colossus out of the deck, but I really do like the idea of 2 Colossus because it's just such a powerful card and can really force a non-game. So I really like that card a lot. 1 Durandal because we can hand wipe, so we're going to hand wipe, right? If we can hand wipe and restart the game state to simplify game state, I mean, Durandal is just so phenomenal for that. I've been telling you guys this in every K9 format, every K9 build. Playing Durandal, if you have Droll in your side or your main and you're playing K9, you play Durandal. And then the pretty self-explanatory National Night package, guys. C104 is still a guide card. It also helps you play under Droll by being able to pop your case for K9 and setting your quick play. So this card is just absolutely phenomenal. You got to play this package. This package is just too good. I wouldn't want to cut this package ever. It's so phenomenal. Nash is a phenomenal card, and so is C104. 2 Werewolf. 2 Werewolf usually always comes up. Later on in Burst Protocol, we could flex 1 Werewolf into our new K9 card. But right now, I really love 2 Werewolf. And I'd almost want to try to make room to fit 2 Werewolf plus the new card. But 2 Werewolf is perfect for right now. And then the last card, Typhon. Obviously, we're not playing Zeus in this one just because we're making room for the Thunder Dragon portion of the deck. We want to make sure that we have the Durandal hand wipe. Durandal also comes up with negating the normal spells, so it really helps with stopping, you know, Mitsurugi Ritual. It helps stop the Ketu. It helps stop the Rahu. It helps stop Branded Fusion. So Durandal is really good. Besides the hand wipe factor, it is still a very solid card. That's why I really like running Durandal. But Typhon is Typhon. We're playing 2 Lupus. We want to have Typhon. I'm almost to the point where I want to try out 2 Typhons. It's come up a couple times where I could have done a second Typhon, but I still end up winning the game anyway, so it never really came up to the point where it had been game winning. So there's no need to run the second one, but I could see running it possibly. But the only thing I really want to make room in here for is the other link, just so I have multiple ways to ensure that I can get out to my Colossus. And like I said, the only real cuts you could technically, you could cut a werewolf for it, or you could cut a thunder dragon. But personally, I'd rather just make sure that I have both of them, because a lot of people don't expect the second werewolf, and that could just be a game ender for them. I can't tell you how many times I got game because people weren't expecting the second werewolf to come up. All right, and for the extra deck. So obviously, we're playing K9, so we play 3 Di-Fi and 3 DDG. Pretty self-explanatory. These guys are god cards. Shuts down Draco Tail immediately. Shuts down a lot of decks. Shuts down Branded. Cards are insane. It really turns off a lot of decks, and we can play for free, and it turns our deck on, especially on the Thunder Dragon side of the house. So, really phenomenal card. Anti-spell, Sky Striker is an annoying card for K9 to deal with because they don't activate anything in grave or hand, and it's all spells, and all they do is try to steal your monsters and keep stealing your monsters and keep recycling cards and keep drawing cards, and it's a very annoying deck. So anti-spell is a real good way to stop them because we don't really have anything to hard stop a Sky Striker build inside our deck. Tikaboo. Tikaboo's God card. It worked very well in the K9 forms. I would side this in going second in this build because you're going to be siding out a lot of your Thunder Dragon package. So I'd definitely be siding in a Tikaboo going second, and I would side it in going first just because this can turn off a lot of decks as well. So I am playing the trap in the side for going first, just so I have additional push with the K9 engine. Instead of playing the other quick play, if I know I'm going first, then I'm going to play this just to help a little bit more with the breakers. So I am playing this in the side in this variant, but I probably want to play this in pure variant. It depends. Maybe I'm still testing the Burst Protocol build of pure K9 right now as we speak, so this might be a thing post Burst Protocol with our new boss monster, just so we have extra layers and we can get to all of our names and all of the effects. So I am testing this out for burst format, but in this build I do like this just in the side if I'm going first. And then our going second cards, our third copy of Nib, our third copy of Imperm, and our third copy of Perulia. And then obviously the God card, 3 copies of Droll. I put this in going first and second. Card's phenomenal. And that is it for the deck list, boys. This is a clean 42. Nice even number. Very solid build. It's very consistent. The ratios are perfect on this. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think you would cut for the extra deck slot. I think it would have to be a Colossus or a Werewolf, but overall I really do like this build quite a bit. I think this is perfect how it is, but the addition of that Link monster that I mentioned could be huge. It definitely needs some more testing, so let me know what you guys think. Peace. All right, boys, I hope you enjoyed that Thunder Dragon K9, guys. You know what, I was very excited to bring this one to you. I really do want to run this at events. We'll see what happens. You know, I'll see if we can actually get out there and do some events with this one, but right now, obviously, I got to ride it for the pure K9. As I ranted in the beginning of this video, I'm going to rant again. Yo, these Yugi tubers are sleeping on my deck, dog. I cannot. We're going to show them what it means to be creative, all right? We're going to show them what it means to be creative out here, all right? We're going to show that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has changed to the point it is like Edison. Deck building and creative strategy can win an event, all right? You don't need to play a certain deck. If you are good with deck building and you have creative strategies, all right? And on top of that, you need to know your interactions, all right? You can't just have those two and then go to the event and expect to win, all right? You need to know your interactions. You need to know cards. You need to know what they do, all right? So make sure you guys are staying up to date with that as well. But This is the first time, in the longest time, all right, the longest time that you can be creative in Yu-Gi-Oh! And win an event, guys. Look how much we can splash Fiendsmith into random rogue strategies and bring them up a notch. Look how much we can splash K9 into different strategies, bring them up a notch. The amount of mixing and matching that you can do and come up on top is insane. We're seeing crazy strategies come through. Even Pure Azamina, there's been a few lists, which y'all already know if you've been a member of this channel for a hot minute. I made Pure Azamina way back before anybody talked about Pure Azamina. And people were calling me crazy. But look at it, stopping events now, right? Guys, and I got to get on that one too. I got to give you guys the deck profile for Pure Azamina. I got to sauce it up. I saw some lists, they're pretty nice. I talked to some people that actually played at the events, and no, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, their thought process and concepts behind it. And they kind of made me a little bit more of a fan of debaters, but story for another time. I'm going to be hopping in. February is Azamina everything, guys. So stay tuned. February, we're getting that Dark Magician support buys, and it's going to be Azamina galore. I mean, every deck, Azamina, Pure Azamina, all of it. We're going to go crazy with it. So stay tuned. I hope you're ready for Azamina overload then. And then we also got Hella Hands. Hella Hands. All right. So Hella Hands, we're saucing up Hella Hands K9, and we're going to sauce up Hella Hands Mitsurugi, Hella Hands Azamina, and Hella Hands Chimera. All right. So all 4 of those decks we will be doing on this channel. The moment I get it, it should arrive next week, like Thursday or something. So the following week we will be doing that, because I got the regional next week. So all things Hella Hands will be coming the week after next. All right, so stay tuned for that, guys. Very excited to do that. Oh yeah, Hella Hands Cashier. I forgot about that. That was one of my favorites. All right, because you literally normal summon any of the level 7s. All right, and they're no longer bricks. All right, because now they're starters. All right, if you normal summon them because you have Birth on the field, guys, they're a starter, because you mill 3, draw 1. Now you go into Jowls it, guys. I'm saucing out here, boys. I stay. Oh, guys, I'm so excited for this one. I'm so excited for this one, guys. But listen, anyways, boys, so much to bring to this channel. I'm very excited for it. We got a lot on the way, and we got some big tournaments come up, and we are gonna prove all these people wrong, guys. We're gonna prove them wrong here on this channel. All right, you guys are what? You guys are witnessing it here first. All right, all these people are single track mind. They haven't seen how much Yu-Gi-Oh has evolved. Right, that's why they're constantly talking down about Yu-Gi-Oh and like, oh, I'm tired of this format. Blah blah blah. They don't realize how creative you can get. They don't realize how creative you can get and win events, guys. Like like I feel like people just think, oh, you know what? I'm not winning with my deck. 1, you need to know your interactions. 2, you need to be a good deck builder. All right. 3, you got to get creative, boys. I had to bleep myself. All right. Listen, guys, I'm a dad. All right. I got to work on the cussing. All right. And I'm trying, really trying. All right. But sometimes it's hard when you're passionate, guys. And I'm very passionate about this because I can't stand other Yu-Gi tubers talking down about this beautiful card game, this hobby that I love. I can't. Why are you a Yu-Gi tuber? Why are you a Yu-Gi tuber and over here telling me how you want to change Yu-Gi-Oh? And Konami's been doing a phenomenal job last 2 years. Yo, listen, I ain't looking for no Konami sponsorship because God knows what that means, and I don't want to have to change my channel to corporate structures or whatever. So I'm not looking for any of that. I'm just being realistic, guys. If you think about this for a second, all right? Just 1 second. Just pretend like at your locals, right? How many people at your own locals thinks different things should be hit on the ban list, things should come off the ban list, and then the other guys think that things should stay on the ban list, but that guy thinks other things should come off the ban list, and then all these other people like, I want this to be reprinted, I don't want this to be reprinted, I need this to be reprinted, I don't want that. Guys, the Yu-Gi-Oh community is worse than politics, all right? That's all I gotta say, yo. Everybody, it's not like there's 1 or 2 sides, there's 9 million different sides of what people want for Yu-Gi-Oh and how they want to change Yu-Gi-Oh. And Konami hears it all and has been doing a phenomenal job navigating the 9 million different ways they want to be run. Like the 9 million ways all these other people want them to run Yu-Gi-Oh, Konami's been doing a phenomenal job. If you think about that, all right? If you think about the fact they're trying to satisfy all these 9 million different ideas of how Yu-Gi-Oh should be better, Konami's been doing a phenomenal job, all right? So yeah, do I agree with everything? No, but I'm not gonna sit here and complain because I think they're doing a great job. You know, I'm sure other people love these reprints. I was like, oh, that's a waste of the spot to me because I don't like that card. But then other people are like, oh, you know what? I really wanted that reprint. All right, well, you know, you got to satisfy everybody, right? Guys, You got to think about that. Put it past your own perspective and put yourself in other people's shoes, guys. Yo, that's a moral in life, guys. I'm preaching you morals right now, all right? Put yourself in other people's shoes before you start backlashing, all right? Before you start hating on them and, dipping on them, and think about it from their side before you make a judgment, all right? You know what? Or just leave the judgment to God Almighty, all right? Because what do we know, right? But anyways, guys, I don't know. I just can't stand these YouTubers sometimes, man. It just drives me up a wall. I should do a YouTuber tier list so you guys can see where I put all the YouTubers. So y'all know which YouTubers I watch, man. There's a lot of great ones out there, guys. Don't get me wrong. It's not all of them, guys. It's just like some of the mainstream guys, it just really frustrates me when they just belittle and talk down about the game, but still produce content for the game. Like, it's like such a contradiction. It's like fake. Like, that's fake to me, right? Like, let me know in the comments, guys. Do you think that's fake? Like, do you think that's fake if you're like talking down about a game, but then you're doing content for a game and you're actually getting paid to do that kind of, like, I don't know, man. It's just, you will never catch, so no negativity on this channel. I mean, I guess this is technically negative because I'm technically complaining about, but it doesn't really bother me, I'm not like fazed by it. I'm just saying, it's just annoying, like, but I guess that means I'm fazed by it. I don't know, guys. I'm sick. I'm sick. I got the flu, so maybe I'm not making sense. Let me know if I'm making sense, but if you get what I'm saying, like, I would never be like negative about this. I'm always thinking positive. You got to sometimes you take an L, right? The game doesn't go the way that you want it to, but you got to look for the positives inside that. And that's with everything in life as well. More moral lessons for you guys, right? You may take an L, guys, but look for the positives, right? It'll be like, oh, damn, my favorite card just got hit on the list, but, oh, they did take this card off the list. Some stuff like that, right? Or like, oh, they reprinted this, but they didn't reprint this card. That's good because this is a good investment or whatever. Guys, just find the positivities, all right? Look for the positive, boys, all right? It's not all negative. And they're doing a phenomenal job with the serialized cards that's going to bring back collectors, which is also kind of bad because, we're going to see a lot of the scalpers come in, especially for that set whenever we get our own version of Hero Rivals, then because that's when we will get the serialized numbers. So we will see scalpers start coming in around there. They might even start coming in for Rarity 5 with the first overframes, but the serialized set that comes out, there's definitely going to be scalpers. It's going to get bought out. Just be ready for that, boys. And then people are going to come back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, man, this is the best card game I never lived. Yo, boy, get that out of here, boys. But hey, listen, man. It is what it is, boys, but we're going to make a statement on this channel. We're going to bring a dub to this channel. We're going to show the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community here first that you can be creative and win an event. Hands down, all right? And I'm going to do that with Pure Canine. I'm the first one to sauce it up with the Apophis traps. We sauced it up. I was the first one to tell you guys to play the 2 quick plays and drop the trap. You heard it here first. People are arguing with me about that. I was the first one. Ain't nobody playing trap. Yo, some people still play trap, but hey, trap is actually decent. And I mean, it works. It works sometimes. And it may actually come up inside Burst Protocol format, and I might actually run the trap for that event, but in the side. I would never put it in the main deck. It's too slow to be in the main deck. But guys, stay tuned, man. We got so much on the way, so much coming to this channel. Let me know your guys' thoughts about these other YouTubers out here. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to think about that. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I don't like negativity. So like when I see people like the caption Yu-Gi-Oh! Dying, how to fix Yu-Gi-Oh! Like that it just annoys me so much. It's like, bro, go away. Like, get out my game, bro. Go to One Piece. Go to Pokemon, go ruin that card game. Stop trying to trash my game, bro. Like, that's how I feel about it. But hey, let me know what y'all think. I'm interested to see if anybody else feels like me on this stuff, because like, I feel like I'm like the only one that's like looking at Yu-Gi-Oh! From a positive aspect and like seeing all the, benefits and great things that are coming this way. But it is what it is, boys. We're going to keep pushing out content for this beautiful game that we love, and we're going to show this community you can be creative and win events. It's coming. Now, guys, we're almost to our next subscriber goal, all right? And speaking of subscriber goal, I just mailed out my 500 subscriber giveaway. I was slacking, boys. Holidays, I got sick, but I just mailed them out. I emailed you guys my 500 subscriber giveaway winners. I emailed you guys the tracking, just so you know. Just make sure you check your email. You guys have UPS tracking. I sent it via UPS. I paid the extra charge for you guys, so you guys make sure it should arrive there this week coming up. So Hopefully you guys get that soon, and make sure you check your emails for that. And but we're almost at our next giveaway already. It's crazy. It's crazy. This channel is growing pretty quick. You know, for considering we haven't got the official like high class dub yet, this channel is growing pretty quick. But that just shows the value people see from having the positive outlook, from having the creativity, guys. It just shows. It just shows what community we're building here, guys. And I love that. I love that so much, man. I love all the support that you guys give me here. But we'll keep growing. If you guys have any friends, family, people at your locals, people that you know that are creative, or people that you need some motivation, guys, send them the link, share the link to the channel. Let's keep growing this community. Let's keep feeding this community and keep making it just a better and better community, guys. Like, I just want to keep blowing this up until we just have people see how amazing and how creative we can actually get and sauce it up and win these events, right? We don't have to play the same decks, guys. We don't have to go card for card, you know, and just go off of interactions, right? We can get creative and also know your interactions, but we can get creative and win events, guys. And that's what I'm going to prove here on this channel, boys. So I'm very excited for that. I'm very excited to keep growing this community. I'm very excited to keep inspiring and motivating all the people out there that need inspiring and motivation. And with that being said, guys, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.